What's going on, plugins? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to talk about how good Reed Sheppard will be for Kentucky this season and how will Kentucky replace the production that Oscar gave them these last few years. Before we get into this video, make sure you drop a like, and if you're new here, sub to the channel and become a part of the family. Now let's get into the video. Reed Sheppard might be one of the most important and impactful players for Kentucky this season. Kentucky's 2023 recruiting class was loaded with 5-star recruits, and Reed Sheppard, who's a 4-star prospect, was getting overlooked by most people, but during the Global Jam, he showed fans that he might have a huge role for Kentucky. He showed that he has a high basketball IQ on offense and defense. He can knock down threes at a high percentage, but if you followed him in high school, that isn't much of a surprise. He was a solid three-point shooter, but most people didn't know he would be an elite defender. He showed during the Global Jam that he can play defense at a high level. He was out there blocking shots and being disruptive. I was impressed with how good he looked and how comfortable he was on the court. Since he showed he can play defense, this may create a bigger role for him during the season, especially if he can stay consistent. As of right now, it looks like Reed Sheppard will be the backup shooting guard. He could play a little point guard, but he could be a player who's getting large chunk of minutes, and Coach Cal can have him on the court closing out games. I can definitely see him out there at the end of games making an impact. Reed Sheppard will probably be the most important piece coming off the bench for Kentucky. If he plays how he did during the Global Jam, it's going to be hard to keep him off the court. He's already a fan favorite by Kentucky fans. And his dad, Jeff Sheppard, played for Kentucky. He was the MVP of the 1998 Final Four and won 2 national championships, so Kentucky fans will definitely be showing his son Reed Sheppard a lot of love this season. I'm expecting Coach Cal to have a huge role for him. He brings a lot of value to the team, and he will impact a lot of games. Going into the season, Kentucky will have to replace one of their key players who was one of the best players in the history of Kentucky, which was Oscar. It's going to be hard to replace the production he gave to Kentucky, especially his rebounding. Oscar was one of the best rebounders in the country. Kentucky has a lot of bigs who have the potential to be really good, but Kentucky has one big problem. Most of them are injured and might not be ready for the season opener. Ugonna is recovering from a broken foot. He could end up missing a few games. He got injured in practice before the Global Jam. That's why we didn't get a chance to see him. Right now, the only update we got is that it's going to take a few months for him to recover. Bradshaw is also recovering from a foot injury. It was a fracture, and most reports are saying it's a minor injury. Coach Cal said he should be ready for the season opener, but I believe he won't be ready for the season opener. I hope he will be, but foot injuries can be tricky. Y'all feel what I'm saying, plugins? You don't want to rush these players back from foot injuries. They could easily re-aggravate these injuries. So the player who have to replace the production of Oscar is a player they got overseas. It's a lot of hype surrounding this prospect, and expectations might be high for him when the season starts. And with the 2 bigs being injured and not being ready for the season, this could create some pressure for him. It's going to be important for him to start strong for Kentucky. Kentucky just needs to hope he's half as good as Oscar when it comes to rebounding. Zavadimir is a better offensive player than Oscar, so people shouldn't be worried about him getting a bucket, but can he be a solid defender and grab boards in the paint? We'll just have to wait and see. Overall, it's going to be hard to replace Oscar. We'll have to wait and see how these bigs perform and if they can stay healthy or not. Will Reed Sheppard have a big role for Kentucky this season? Will he end up being one of the most important players on the team? Will Kentucky struggle replacing a player like Oscar? Drop your opinions in the comments, drop a like on the video, and sub to the channel. Turn on post notifications so you know when I post. I know I've been gone for a minute, but I'm going to try and give y'all a few videos before the month is over. I appreciate y'all, and I'll see you in the next video. Till next time.